Shree Krishna explained Arjun, that person who is self-realized is beyond hankering and lamentation. Neither does misery affect him, nor does material joy. Further elaborating, Shree Krishna is saying that Arjun, those persons will be considered established in knowledge, who have subdued their senses and who have restrained the mind from anger, from lust, from greed, from attachment. How does that sage reach such a state?
Bhagavad Gita Sloka chanting is followed by translation and commentary by Swami Mukundananda.
Tani sarvani sanyamya yuktaḥ āsīta paraḥ vashehi yasyendriyani tasya prajñā pratisthita.
They are established in perfect knowledge, who subdue their senses and keep their minds ever absorbed in me. So Shree Krishna explained Arjun, that person who is self-realized is beyond hankering and lamentation, and he is free from desire, anger and fear. So he is going on. How does that sage reach such a state? By getting a higher taste, the higher bliss of God. The soul naturally becomes detached from the lower bliss of the world. And when you are attached to God, you will develop the desire for God. See, it's not that the God-realized saints were not desiring. Their desire was millions of times more intense than ours, but it was diverted towards Shree Krishna, because they had contemplated there is happiness there. So mind had got attached to God, so they were desiring God. And that desire for God will not dirty the mind. It will purify the mind, because the object of desire is all pure. The desire is not wrong. Desire is the quality of the soul. Only thing is, understand what to desire. So that is where the intellect, the discrimination comes. So you desire God and the mind will get purified. As one saint said, Ya anuragi chitta ki gati samjhe nahi koya jaun jaun doobe sham rang tyon tyon ujjwal hoy. The more the color of Sham Sundar falls on your mind, the more your mind will become sparkling and resplendent. So further elaborating, Shree Krishna is saying that Arjun, those persons will be considered established in knowledge, who have subdued their senses and who have restrained their minds. Now restrain the mind. Restrain the mind from anger, from lust, from greed, from attachment. Those who have restrained the mind from there, they will be considered enlightened. So how do we know that? See, like for example, if we say, does anybody have anger? Is anybody displaying anger right now? Nobody is displaying anger. So is everybody beyond anger? Not at all. Nobody is beyond anger. There is no cause for anger at present. When the cause comes, then that monstrous anger shows its universal form. So, the enlightened sage will be such when there is cause for attachment, anger, fear, envy, yet the sage remains dispassionate from it. And the enlightened Buddha is the example. One person came to the Buddha and started abusing him. For no reason. Khala binu swaratha para apakari ahi mushaka iva sunu urgari. The Ramayana says there are all kinds of people in this world. There are those who will feed themselves, they will also feed you. These are the good people. There are those who will go hungry to feed you. These are the saintly people. There are those who will snatch your plate to feed themselves. These are the evil people. And there are those who for no reason will take pleasure in making you go hungry. These are the demoniac people. So there are all kinds of people. He gives the example of the hail. It falls and destroys the crop of the farmer. The hail doesn't get anything. The farmer's crop is destroyed. And the mouse, it comes and tears, eats your cloth, destroys your winter clothes. The mouse doesn't eat it, it just destroys it. So there are all kinds of people. So this person came and he was taking great pleasure in abusing the Buddha. 1 hour he went on, the Buddha just quietly kept listening. After 1 hour, that man got exhausted. So he stopped. Gautam Buddha told his disciples, he seems to have got drained of energy. Give him some water to drink, some food to eat, so he recuperates and he can start again. Now, that person was totally astonished. He said, "Sir, what kind of man are you? Are you made of wood or are you made of stone? I told you so much. You did not even object. You did not even say, my dear fellow, what did I spoil of yours that you are treating me to these wonderful invectives today?" He asked the Buddha. Gautam Buddha said, listen, if you give a gift to somebody and that person does not take it, with whom does the gift remain? With the person who has given it. Similarly, all that you were giving to me, I was not taking. That was my choice. It's all with you. Now he was enlightened. It's not that an enlightened person is not mistreated. Everybody will be mistreated. But the enlightened person has a different attitude towards it. The enlightened person is not dependent upon the external circumstance. Is independent of it, is a controller of his or her own mind. So Shree Krishna says, Arjun, that person who is controlling the mind and who has subdued the senses, irrespective of the external situation. Irrespective. Not, Swamiji, if this became all right, that became all right, then I would. Irrespective of the external situation, that person would be considered enlightened.